The customer support team at Mechatronics Lab see a number of shock mounting issues that cause problems for dyno owners. At the suspension school, we help previous students who have gone on to buy their own dynos. We also see similar problems, so together we've made this video to show the best practices when it comes to mounting shocks in dynos. If a shock is mounted at an angle, as it compresses and extends, it will put a side load into the shaft, increasing the force. When mounting end eyes, it's important to clamp the whole end tight. We've exaggerated the issue here, but if you can hear this noise when testing, something is loose. Using a fixture to clamp the whole shock end down eliminates any free play. On a lot of shocks, the spherical bearing is hidden by mounting bushes and seals. In this image, we can see a new bearing at the bottom and worn bearings at the top. When they are hidden, it's impossible to see the wear. Whilst it's good practice to remove the bushes and seals to inspect the bearings, we know that people don't. Mounting clevises is one of the biggest areas where we see problems. This fixture eliminates all free play. It's also strong, so it doesn't flex. If you have loose mounts, or worn bearings, you will see steps in the force displacement graph in the compression and rebound opening, as shown in the black trace. Using a strong fixture that clamps the ends down tight, as shown in the red trace, eliminates any steps. The red trace in this graph was created with a clevis mount with some flex. The compression force is reduced, particularly in the opening phase, and there is a step in the rebound opening. Using a strong fixture gives the blue trace, eliminating any problems. It's important to compress the shock a little before testing. This stops any force generated by top-out rubbers or top-out springs from influencing the graph. Silver shock bodies don't radiate heat in the same way that black ones do. Using a black piece of tape where the sensor is pointed gives a more accurate reading. You can see here that when the tape is removed, the temperature falls. Even with this top-spec sensor, there is some change. We see big changes with the cheap sensors fitted to some dynos. If you look in any suspension builder's toolbox, you'll see a lot of expensive tools to save time and do the job properly. We understand that people get scared by the price of dyno fixtures, especially when you need so many of them. Time is money in the suspension business. Hours spent trying to diagnose a problem that is mount-related, not shock-related, are hours that you're not getting paid for. When mounting a shock in a dyno, it needs to be straight. The mounts need to be strong. And they need to eliminate free play. For details on dyno mounts and test equipment, contact info@mechatronicslabs.co.uk. For those wishing to discover more about dyno testing, the Suspension School has an online dyno testing course, where students can learn at their own pace. Visit suspenshionschool.com for more details.